Hi everyone, I'm Dan Ulrich from the Air District. I hope you're all doing well during the ongoing shelter in place. I'm going to provide an update on where we are with the path to clean air and a timeline going forward for the next few months. I'm going to switch to the slideshow here. And so the steering committee, this is our April steering committee meeting. This meeting was originally scheduled for March, but with the shelter in place, we're doing this online now. We anticipate having one more steering committee meeting focused on the monitoring plan, and that'll take place in the May to June timeframe, when we'll also be finalizing the monitoring plan that we've been working on. And just to recap, the steering committee has been focused on the monitoring plan, doing monthly meetings since last April. We've identified and prioritized air quality concerns and data needs. The steering committee selected initial air monitoring projects to do screening monitoring back last summer. And more recently, the steering committee selected an additional air monitoring project to be conducted by the Air District, and that will be focused on air toxics. And of course, there have been ongoing community engagement efforts throughout this process. So some things that are still needed to wrap up for the monitoring plan portion are this air toxics monitoring project. So we're planning that now. And there's another presentation for the steering committee meeting on Open Air Forum for you to view on the air toxics project. We also need to finish the actual air monitoring plan and then use this data that's being collected to inform emissions and exposure reduction efforts, and also to inform other Air District ongoing efforts. So starting in July, the steering committee will begin focusing on the development of a community emissions reduction plan, holding monthly meetings to guide the vision and direction for the emissions reduction plan. Some other tasks for the steering committee will be the technical air quality assessment, identifying and developing strategies to reduce emissions and exposure. The ongoing community engagement efforts will continue, and then there will be quarterly updates on the monitoring efforts and results. So in addition to the steering committee, we have the co-lead team, which for the monitoring plan has been meeting weekly since last spring, developing agendas, topics, and materials for those steering committee meetings, and helping with the ongoing community engagement efforts and ensuring that the process is led by and is accessible to the community. And similarly, as we move into July, as the steering committee focuses on the emissions reduction plan, the co-lead team for the Path to Clean Air will focus on that as well. The specific roles and responsibilities and who's on that co-lead team still to be determined. So the group that is designing this emissions reduction plan process is the CERC Community Design Team. And a few of you are on this team. It's had a few meetings already, and right now they're working on developing the application for the emissions reduction plan steering committee, the charter and partnership agreements. So this is similar to the design team that helped design the monitoring plan process last year. This group will also be selecting the steering committee members for the emissions reduction plan. So stay tuned for the application for the emissions reduction plan steering committee. In addition to the steering committee and the co-lead team, we also have the technical advisory group. This is the group of independent experts that is to provide advice on technical aspects related to monitoring. This is not a decision-making body. They're tentatively planning a first meeting for April and then to meet quarterly after that. On this Open Air Forum page, you'll see there's an update on this technical advisory group, or TAG, and that includes the members or independent experts who have been selected for that group. So getting back to the Path to Clean Air process overall, with the monitoring plan being finalized in the next few months, there's still going to be follow-up work after that. Monitoring projects are still going to be ongoing, and we want to make sure that the data collected from those projects can help inform emissions and exposure reduction strategies. And that follow-up work can be completed through the monitoring implementation team. So what is this new team? This is a team that can help coordinate with the ongoing monitoring projects, help review work products like the final monitoring plan or other data and results. This group can update the steering committee quarterly on monitoring implementation and findings, and can also update the tag on monitoring status and provide the tag with topics to review. So for some more information on this monitoring implementation team, this is a team that will be coordinated by the Air District, and we're looking for a few volunteers to help with some of this detailed technical work on coordinating between and tracking the ongoing monitoring efforts. Also to help prepare and review quarterly updates for the steering committee, prepare updates on monitoring for the tag, and provide topics for the tag to consider, and review other work products such as data reports and edits to the monitoring plan. This team, we're expecting, will meet primarily through online calls or webinars with a meeting frequency about every other week. But it may need to meet more often than that, especially as we're ramping up toward those quarterly updates when there may be some more work involved. So if you're really interested in sort of the more technical, in-the-weeds aspects of the monitoring and want to help out with this work, please let us know using the comments here on Open Air Forum. Or if you have other questions about the monitoring implementation team, feel free to add those too and we can respond. So there will be other ways to stay informed on the monitoring plan and ongoing monitoring work. One is by attending the steering committee meetings quarterly to hear about ongoing monitoring and results. You can do that whether you're on the Emissions Reduction Plan Steering Committee or if you're a member of the public. And in addition to that, the Air District and the Monitoring Implementation Team will be posting updates routinely on Open Air Forum. So that's the same website that we're using right now for this online steering committee meeting. But we plan to post updates routinely here. You can almost think of it as a Path to Clean Air monitoring blog. And that concludes our update on process and timeline and where we are and where we're going for the next few months. Again, please leave feedback or questions using the comments here on Open Air Forum and we can respond to those. Thank you.